wonderful. And I will now pass over to Miss Highbine. Sorry, Miss Park.
Thank you for that.
Apologies, it's been a long day.
So, welcome to everybody. I'd like to add my welcome to Miss Hulks's welcome to both new families and our own ISS families, and particularly to the 10th grade students, because I think that's really important that you are here with your parents. So I'm just going to give you an overview of the graduation and beyond, as it says on there. One of the things to think about is whether or not you do wish to take the full IB diploma program. And typically over 95% of our students do take the full IB diploma program. And I will be talking a lot about that shortly. But it is possible for students to just take individual subject courses, and they can take the IB examinations at the end of 12th grade in those particular subjects. And that might be a good option for some students. All our students will earn a regular high school diploma, an ISS diploma. And if you are following the full IB diploma program at ISS and you complete it successfully, you will also earn an ISS high school diploma. If you're not taking the full IB diploma program, you still can earn an ISS diploma by what we term credit counting. And that is basically that we have a minimum number of English courses you must have taken, and maths courses and science courses and social studies courses, etc. But it's not necessary to actually do that counting for students taking the full IB diploma program. Because to be honest, if you're taking the full IB diploma program and you complete it successfully, you have definitely earned an ISS high school diploma. So the IB mission statement is something which I feel is really important to be thinking about. It's not an exam system. It's not just the academics. It's got a much bigger philosophy behind it. And that philosophy matches very closely to our own ISS philosophy. So here we have the full mission statement. The IB diploma and the IB in general is aiming to develop inquiring, knowledgeable and caring young people who help to create a better and more peaceful world through intercultural understanding and respect. I really like to take a moment just to think about that. Isn't that a wonderful philosophy for our students to have, that they're going forward in the world really wanting to learn more, but already having studied lots of information and gained lots of skills, but they're also caring and they want to improve the world. They want to make it a better place. So it is a rigorous program. It's a challenging program. There's no doubt that it's a challenging, tough program. The last 2 years of high school are tough years, but they really do prepare students well for university. And again, I just like to quote the IB in their last part of their mission statement. The programs encourage students across the world to become active, compassionate, and lifelong learners who understand that other people with their differences can also be right. And that fits so well with our ISS philosophy. Now, the IB philosophy is made real, if you like, through the IB Learner Profile. And there's a list of 10 sort of things that you want our students to be. And again, it fits with our ISS philosophy very well. We want them to be inquirers. We want them to be knowledgeable. Yes, you do need to know some facts. We want you to think. We want you to be able to communicate well, both orally and in a written form. We want you to be principled, open-minded and caring. We want you to be risk takers. Now, parents, don't panic about that one. We're not talking about doing really risky behavior, but just going outside your comfort zone and being willing to try things and fail perhaps at something and then pick yourself up and start again. We are taking risks this evening where we have to put ourselves out and talk to a computer. I feel very strange at the moment because I'm talking to my computer, even though I know you're all out there. I'm taking a risk. I'm putting myself out there. We also like students to be balanced. So it's not all academics. There's lots to life other than your academic work, and reflective. Think about what you've learned and how and why. So some practical things. What is the IB diploma program? What's the curriculum? Well, the image on the side there is what the IB likes you to see the IB diploma program as. The circle is representing the world. It's a little bit difficult to see, but the different continents are there. And it's looking at the whole world. In the middle are the students, the IB learner profile. Then we've got the approaches to teaching and learning. This is how we as teachers and students as learners work together. Then we have the ring of the core components, which I'll talk about later on: theory of knowledge, extended essay, creativity, activity, service. And then we have the 6 subject areas, if you like, that students will be studying from. And students take 3 subjects at higher level, which is 240 hours of teaching over 2 years, and 3 subjects at standard level. That's 150 hours of teaching over 2 years. So the structure is quite rigid, but there are some choices. And we'll see in a moment how ISS has structured this to try to give students a really good choice. So what do we offer? Well, in Group 1, the studies in language and literature, we have English A literature or English A language and literature. And the difference between them, and you can talk to your English teachers about this, is just what it says, really. The literature program focuses almost entirely on different literary genres, whereas the language and literature also thinks about how English is used in other ways, for example, in the media. And then in the group that I've called Group 1-2, because it's a combination of both Group 1 and Group 2 from an IB perspective, we offer Norwegian A language and literature. And that is really important for many students. If you're Norwegian, or if you are Norwegian first language speaker or near first language speaker, then you probably want to do your English and your Norwegian at language A level, first language level. If your Norwegian is still developing, then maybe Norwegian B is more appropriate. A language B is a taught language. It's, if you like, a language that you are acquiring. If you have a first language which is neither English nor Norwegian, we can offer you what's termed the school-supported self-taught language A literature. Sorry about the very long title, but it means that you can, at standard level only, continue to explore your own language and literature and culture. And every year we typically have up to 6 students who are working on that program. So it might be Japanese, or it might be French, or it might be Spanish, or it might be Turkish, or it might be whatever. Almost all languages are offered through the IB. If you've been learning French, you may want to continue your learning of French B. Or if you've been learning Spanish, you may want to continue learning Spanish B. Now, if none of those options fit, there might be the possibility of looking at a new beginner language called an ab initio language, which we can offer through an online provider called Pomoja. Now, Pomoja we've worked with now for, it must be, well, it's well over 10 years. I'm just thinking it's probably about 15 years. They are an online provider which is authorized by IB to offer IB courses. And we found it's very successful for students to perhaps take one course with Pomoja to allow them to take courses which we just can't offer at school. And ab initio courses, beginner language courses, might be something which will work better for you. In the group 3, the sort of social studies group, we have geography, history. Students, you know what those involve. Talk to your teachers if you'd like to continue with your geography or your history. But if you want to take geography or history and you've not been taking them in 9 and 10, grades 9 and 10, then that's perfectly fine. You can take it even if you haven't been studying it. We offer psychology, which is a new subject for all of our students, and you'll learn more about that very shortly, in fact, in advisory next week for those students who are our own 10th grade students currently. And we're also this year proud to say that we have expanded our offerings in group 3 with global politics. Now, you will find out a lot about that again next week in your advisory session, 10th graders, but we have looked to try to widen our offerings to give you something which is perhaps a little bit more relevant to life today, perhaps a little bit less academic and a little bit more real world. So global politics may be something that you're interested in. In group 4, in the sciences, we offer biology, chemistry, and physics, the 3 traditional academic sciences. But again, this year, we're proud to say we are expanding our offerings by offering environmental systems and societies, which, as its name suggests, is something which is really important in our current world situation. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a few minutes. But again, you'll learn about it in advisory next week. So any details you'll get then. In group 5, we have 3 maths courses: mathematics, analysis and approaches, which we offer at higher level and standard level, and mathematics, applications and interpretation. And 10th, that's at standard level only, we offer it. So 10th graders, talk to your maths teachers about what these courses involve. Analysis and approaches is more for those people who are perhaps going into engineering or physical sciences particularly. Applications and interpretation may be more appropriate for those of you who are heading into, you want to study social sciences at university, or you want to study the arts rather than sciences. But again, talk to your maths teachers about that. In the group 6, that's the arts group, we also have a technology option, and also there's the possibility of taking an additional science or an additional humanities. In other words, an additional one from group 3 or an additional course from group 4, depending on how we schedule it. But in the arts, we have visual arts, which is a fantastic program, and you can find out more about that by talking to the art teachers here. Design technology. Those of you who are doing design technology now in 10th grade know what a wonderful opportunity that is to really produce some things for yourself, something new, your own topics, your own projects. So design technology is something which you may be really interested in. So that's an overview of what we have to offer. Just a note that most of the subjects are available at ISS at both higher and standard level, but it will depend on student numbers and scheduling, just what courses and combinations we can offer. And we will be giving you the opportunity to make those choices through a Google form, and then you'll see the way that the schedule is being structured. Again, I mentioned Pomoja courses. There may be other courses available if those are needed by particular students. If you're taking a Pomoja course, an online course, then we may be charging you an additional fee for that course. So our 2 new courses, I'm not going to read all of this, but I just put it up there to help me remember a little bit more about it so that I wouldn't hopefully say the wrong things. Global Politics is a really exciting program. It really allows you to examine real-world examples, real case studies, and provide some comparison between them. Look at them from your own perspective and also from other people's perspectives. It will allow you to explore those political issues affecting your lives, whether it's at a local level, a national level, international, global level. Those of you who are doing Model United Nations, I think this is something which you're well used to doing. Looking at particular issues in the world, things like conflict, which is unfortunately rather relevant still today, migration, which if we know is an enormous issue in the world, climate change, and you're exploring these through political lenses. So really looking at how we can deal with the issues of the world today. So global politics may be something which appeals to you, and we're very happy to be able to be offering it for the first time this coming year. Also trying to look more at the real world and how we can embed our IB learning more out into the real world, environmental systems and societies. And this is really looking at the environment, but looking at it through cultural, economic, ethical, political, and social interactions of societies, as it says there. So we're looking at the environment, but we're looking at how humans use the environment and what we can do to look at the issues, the environmental issues that are out there in the 21st century, and what can we do about it? How can we develop solutions to these issues, whether it's at a personal level, a community level, a global level, and really understanding how we can build a better world, which, let's face it, is what the philosophy of the IB is all about. So this really works towards the philosophy of the IB and the philosophy of ISS. So this might be something that you are excited to explore. And again, this is a new course for us for this year. One thing I did want to talk just briefly about is the Norwegian language requirements. And that's something which, if you're intending to study at Norwegian universities, then you do need to make sure you've got Norwegian in your IB diploma, or you would have to prove your Norwegian competency through an alternative method. For example, taking the Bergens test or doing a study of Norwegian language and culture, for example, at the University of Stavanger. So if you're interested in studying at Norwegian universities, then you really do need to choose either Norwegian A, and that can be at higher level or standard level, or if you are not up to first language level, then Norwegian B, higher level, may be the most appropriate course for you. And with all our languages and all our language choices, we need you to be in the course which is most appropriate for you. So not the course necessarily that is going to be easy for you. The courses are intended to be challenging for you, but not too challenging. So we will work with the language teachers to determine what is the most appropriate course for you. So please be aware that we will talk to you about your language choices and hopefully make sure that we have the right course for you. So what else is there? Well, the core of the IB diploma is also very important. It's what really makes the IB diploma program so special compared with many national programs. So the extended essay, or the EE as we often call it, it's a 4,000 word research project. I hate the way they call it an essay, because in many subjects it's not really an essay, it's a research project. It's an individual research project, and you will choose a subject area that you're most interested in, and you will have a supervisor, a teacher in that subject area who will guide you through the process. But it's really like a university research program. it's fantastic preparation for university. And one of the things I love when our graduates come back to us a year down the line is they say, I may have found the extended essay a little, shall we say, politely frustrating. And yeah, it was a bit hard. But now I'm at university. I can do what I need to do. I had one student who started their university and they got an essay, 2,000 words, say. It was 2,000 or 3,000 words. I can't remember which. And all her friends in that first year university course were freaking out, going, well, how do I start? What do I do? How do I plan it? Where, how am I going to manage it? And she went, oh, is that all? What, only 2,000 or 3,000 words? Easy. I know how to do this, because we guide you through the process here at ISS. So when you go to university, you know exactly what to do. The 11th grade are just getting started on theirs, and the 12th grade are just about finished. Some of them are a little slow at finishing, but we're all different. CAS, creativity, activity, and service, is something which I think is a really powerful part of the IB diploma program. You are expected to do something which is creative, something artistic perhaps, but that doesn't mean you have to paint or you have to play music. There's lots of ways in which you can be creative. Activity, yeah, we do expect you to be physically active in some way. Activity is meant to be physically active, so sports of some sort. It could be, I've got an echo now, I don't quite know why. It's somebody got their microphone not turned off?
Miss Mark, I've just muted somebody who came in who had their microphone on. So, Mr. Wrong, could you mute your microphone for us, because it really disrupts the presentation? Thank you so much. Right, I think we're sorted again, Ms. Park. You can continue.
Thank you, because it really is difficult when we have an echo like that. So apologies for that little break in the presentation. So activity, yes, we need to have you doing some physical activity, some sports of some sort. It can be team sports at school, it can be outside of school, it can be individual activity, whatever you choose to do. And service, some sort of community service. And we have a number of service groups in the school, and we do recommend that you join one of those at least. It's a way of developing yourself, as well as providing service and providing help to other people. You're also developing your own skills. So it is education, but it's outside a classroom situation. And it really develops those traits of the learner profile. So CAS is really important. And one of the things we do ask you in CAS is always to be reflective, because by reflecting on your own learning, you develop. Theory of knowledge, TOK. Well, this is my favorite bit of the IB diploma program. And I'm sure Miss Hulks is out there laughing to herself, because she and I this year are the theory of knowledge, the TOK team. And I've been teaching now TOK, it must be about 10 years. And I just love the program. It's wonderful. It's asking a very simple question. How do we know? How do we know that? Somebody tells us something is a fact. Well, how do we know? How do they know? How do we find out things, whether it's in academic subjects, different disciplines, or in everyday life? If a news presenter says this happened, can we trust what that person is saying? How do they know? Have they presented it as fact when it's in fact really only opinion? Have they really done their research? We look at all different disciplines, all the academic disciplines, but we also look at some more, if you like, everyday themes. And our students make those choices themselves. We ask the students to choose from the list of optional themes that TOK contains. And this year's 11th grade are just going to be starting their first optional theme, which is knowledge and politics, because they chose that. And their other optional theme that they chose for this year is knowledge and technology. So those two will be very exciting to do. And Ms. Hulks and I are really excited to get the students starting exploring politics in terms of, again, how do we know things? It certainly encourages an appreciation of other cultural perspectives, because whenever we're doing anything within TOK, we always think, well, would other people agree with us? Or are we actually coming from our own cultural perspective, our own cultural background? And in fact, you know, is that really true? Or is it just what we think? So I love the TOK course, and the students produce an exhibition and they write a formal essay for their assessment. So just a bit of factual information for you. The IB examination fees are not included in the school fees because it is in the end optional. And so we charge those separately. Students will register for the IB at the beginning of their 12th grade, and the cost for this year was 6,000 krona for the full IB diploma. So basically, the IB charges the school and we charge back to the families at least a proportion of what the IB asks us to pay. Our results. Well, here's just a table of data for you. We publish our results every year and it goes up on the portal and it goes up on the website. We're very open about our results and we're very proud of our results, because one of the things which is important to us at ISS is all students are able to take the diploma if they so wish. We don't select students into the school and we don't select students into the IB diploma, which is relatively rare. An awful lot of IB schools will select students into the program and will exclude students who they don't think will perhaps do very well. But we welcome all our students in and we work very hard with all our students so that they can reach their full potential. So we are extremely proud of the number of students who choose to do the IB diploma. Out of the number of candidates, the vast majority of them choose to do the whole diploma, as you can see from this data. And the vast majority of them, ranging from mid-80s up to the mid-90s, achieve the full diploma. And that is something which we are exceptionally proud of. The IB diploma is not just about getting points. It's not just about getting that diploma to stick on the wall and the points to get you into university. But in the world we live in, it is a reality that the points are important and getting that diploma is important. So we're proud that in general, our averages are above the world average every year. And when we consider that the world average includes an awful lot of selective schools, we are very proud of what our teachers and our students do every year. And I am sure our 10th graders who are watching us now will do extremely well as well. So what about the recognition at universities? The IB diploma is extremely well recognized by universities around the world. So there is a recognition statement produced by over 100 countries. Over 2,000 universities have produced recognition statements. And there is a whole database of those policies available on the IB website. Some universities will offer specific scholarships for IB students. Some, particularly US universities, will offer advanced placement for students who've taken particular courses. For example, our students who left last year, our alumni who came back to talk to the students in a SOAR session a couple of weeks ago, were saying that they had received advanced placement, meaning that they didn't have to take a first-year course in, for example, a foreign language because they got sufficient qualifications from their IB, or a basic English course, or a basic maths course, or a basic science course. Sometimes students can skip that first year basic course to get advanced placement so they can move on to more challenging programs. So it's really worthwhile looking at the universities and what they need, whether or not specific point scores are needed for particular courses. If you're applying to the UK or to Norway, for example, you often have to get a specific point score to get into a specific course, maybe a specific point score in specific subjects. And Ms. Highbine and I are very well experienced in helping students through the minefield of applications to universities. And that's where our students went last year, at least those of them who've told us. Sometimes students just disappear, or they take a gap year and they will be going to university in a year's time. But many of them did go directly onto university, and you can see that we've had students going to Canada and the US. We tend to have a lot of students going to the UK and a whole range of universities there. Some of the names are very familiar to you, some may be less familiar, but they all offer extremely good courses for our students, depending on what they want to do. Trinity College Ireland in Dublin, in Ireland, often we have a student or two go there. Denmark, Norway, Sweden, of course, we have students going to the various Scandinavian countries. The Netherlands is becoming more and more popular because they offer a lot of English language programs. Spain, Hungary, that's medical students in Hungary, that's quite popular. In Germany, we have a student who's at a very prestigious German military university on a full scholarship. So she is really happy there. And it's great to hear from our alumni. So if we've got any families out there with students who've graduated, tell them to get in touch. We love to hear from them. So what's going to happen now? Well, how are we going to sort out this selection process, the timeline? How is it going to work? We have somebody with some sound. Thank you very much. So the information evening is tonight. There is going to be discussion in your subject classes and then the advisory SOAR program for our current 10th graders during January and February. And we will be asking you to fill in a Google form with your preliminary selection in February. After that, or before that, if you like, you can come and talk to Miss Highbine, our counsellor. You can come and talk to me. You can come and talk to Miss Hulks, our high school principal, to ask for individual help. And that we really do advise you to do that. Don't be shy of asking for an appointment to come and talk to us, whether that's just the student, and they of course can just pop into the office at any time. You know, our doors are always open, as we say, except when they're closed. So we're around a great deal for you to just come and pop in. If parents want a particular meeting, then do get in touch with us by email. And we will, in the end, confirm your course choices, obviously, before the end of the year, so you'll know what you are doing. So this is me. I'm not totally convinced about the photograph, but that is me. And you know my email address and, of course, how to contact us at the school. So thank you very much for that. And I'm going to ask Miss Hulks just to talk briefly about the scholarships. Miss Hulks.
Thank you, Ms. Park, and thank you for a wonderful presentation. Just to add to that, existing students, the Google form will go out in the next couple of days, which gives you the opportunity to start thinking about your choices, and the email will make you aware of the deadline for returning that. But just remember, those preliminary choices are not something that are set in stone. You know, it's really important that we have conversations that you have conversations with your teachers, and we also may have conversations with you about your choices. And there are opportunities to move things around, but it's really important for us to get a preliminary understanding of what you'd all like to study and make sure that we can do everything we can to make those choices available to you. So a little bit about scholarships, because I know quite a few of you would like that information. What kind of scholarships are available and who can apply? Okay, we have 200% scholarships which are available to non-ISS students, so students outside of school, external scholarships. The Linda and Lendivell scholarships are typically given to one boy and one girl, but that does depend. And they are full 100% academic merit scholarships, and they cover grade 10, 11 and 12 at ISS. And by academic merit, it means they're mainly based on school grades, but we do take other things into consideration as well. So if you go to the school website, you'll find that as of this evening or probably tomorrow, there will be a button on there where you can click on the application and apply. It's a Google form application, and we also ask you to send in some additional information, school reports, references, and various different things. But if you follow the process very carefully, it will explain that, and will explain the time frame as well. In February, we have a scholarship day, which hopefully this year will mean students can come in and join us for the day and have a taster day and experience a couple of lessons, and then have a little scholarship chat with the committee as well. So all the information is there available to you on the website. We also have two 50% IB scholarships, which are available to external candidates to enable them to apply for grade 11 and 12, and that covers 50% of your fees. And of course, many students for grade 10 and above can also apply for Lorna Casson funding to contribute towards their fees as well. So it's important families know about that. And if you don't know anything about Lorna Casson funding, you'd like to find out more, please contact us and we can help you with that. And of course, our wonderful existing students that we love so much, they are also have two internal scholarships available for internal families. They're 250% IB scholarships, and they are available to our students. I will send out an email to grade 10 tomorrow with details of how to apply. And again, it's a Google form, and it's essentially based on grades from this year, but also other attributes such as your contribution to the school community. So that will help you, that information. Non-ISS families, if you're interested, we can also arrange taster days for you to come in and spend the day as a student here as well. If that's something you're interested in, just let Sarah Osborne know in admissions, and that's something that she can arrange for you. Okay. Ms. Park, I think that's everything. Am I correct?
Yes, we are finishing just about at the right time, because from about 5 minutes from now at 6:45, we've asked for our teachers to be available. I'm just going to come out of the sharing, and hopefully I've now come out of sharing, and our teachers will be available to answer questions about individual subjects. But again, I do emphasize that for 10th grade students, you will get a lot of help in your SOAR advisory programs, and also by talking to your subject teachers in your subject classes. So it isn't that this evening is the only time that you can get information. You'll get lots and lots of information from your teachers. So please feel free to meet up with the teachers on the various meetings, which are set up to start in, I see actually it's 3 minutes. And Miss Hulks and I will remain on this meet for those of you who have questions to us. But Miss Hulks, if you would like to stop the recording now so that we can answer any questions that you put in the chat. Or you can leave us and go and speak to individual teachers.